Well, before I get into the meat and potatoes of my talk, I want to lay a few ground rules. Okay? Is that okay with you? I really like audience participation, so if I say something cool, go ahead and go a little clap action, okay? Also, there will be a test later and food references during my talk, okay? All right. I wanted to give you an idea of sort of the lens that I look through when making decisions as a dad and as a chief of police, because there's so many. Obviously, this time is a little tumultuous in my business, but I wanted to give you an idea of what I do. So there's really three things that I try to look through that are the basic rules for me to make a decision or how it applies to different things that I do in each day. It should be noted that I'm a Rotarian, and Rotary International has a lot of, go ahead. A lot of great things they do throughout the world, but one of the basic things the Rotarians have are a set of principles, and one of those principles is service above self. So that first lens that I look through is, what am I doing today that will improve the lives of the community that I serve or a single individual? What can I do today that can help bring that forward? That's an important concept, service above self. I think it's something that we can use in many organizations and in our daily lives as well. The second thing is something that I borrow from our own vision statement at the agency that I work at. And it's a vision statement that we put together as a group of employees that would best represent our agency and our city. And one of those concepts, and this is my second lens, is always do the right thing even when people aren't looking. We know that we now have body cameras and car cameras and cell phone cameras, and it's important to always do the right thing. But even when those things aren't around, it's still important to do the right thing, because in your heart you're going to know. And that's the most important projection you can do, is be that light, especially if you're in my business, for those folks out there that need it. The last thing, and probably the most important concept for me, is I borrow it from 1785, and that is, all men, and of course women, are created equal. It's a very important filter that you have to use and constantly remind yourself each and every day of your decisions, especially in the position that I have. Very important. So we good with the ground rules? All right, great. So one of the things that I think is important for me today to kind of invoke is that it takes an incredible amount of love for humanity for me to do my job. And I think I'm going to have an argument later that for police officers, it is an act of love each and every day they put their uniform on. But we'll dive into that in a second. The most important thing that I want you to know today, though, is I'm a Californian, I'm a man, I'm a dad, I'm a neighbor, I'm a friend, I'm a police officer, I'm a chief, but most importantly, I'm a human being. And that's how I look at all the things that I do each and every day when I'm out there making those decisions. Is it good for the group? And is it good as me representing the human beings as well? We see constantly in our news feeds these arguments about politics, ethnicity, poverty, weight, if chunky peanut butter is better than creamy. What is it? Chunky? Creamy? Chunky? All right. Okay. I kind of like them both. The thing is that at the end of the day, all those things that we see on our news feeds, they all affect us and really affect my job, because what happens nationally or regionally would affect the way that people focus their views on my officers out there. So something that happens in, say for example, in Florida would be something that filter they would see the police officers that I have working for me as well. So it is a difficult thing to battle each day. That's why it is so important. This concept of loving your fellow man is so important that you must impart upon that each and every day. And I can tell you how important it is. It's important for me as a public servant to pick the right people. But it's more important for me to be that example each and every day for both the officers that work for me, but also the public that sees me. As I have to be a reflection of the public. So expressing that love for my fellow man is one of my missions every single day that I try to do. It's difficult when we are trying to get into a discussion of, again, politics and ethnicity, race, immigration now, of us to do our job. It's very difficult. In fact, it's been very hampered by some of the national narrative right now. So I always go back to square one, and how do I express my caring for our fellow man? And there's a number of ways. I think, again, each and every day that our officers get dressed in the locker rooms and go out is an act of unquenchable love for humanity. And here's why I say that. These officers, including myself, I've been shot at, I've been spit on, I've been stabbed, hit by cars, assaulted in every way. But I can tell you that I'm at work early every day because I love the fact, it's a simple concept, that I can make a positive change, hopefully every single day, in a person in their life. If I didn't arrest one more person for the rest of my career, I'd be completely happy, because I would know that, first off, people are being good. I don't know if that's going to happen. But I could have more time to make positive changes in people's lives. And that's important to me every single day. The biggest thing that I want to bring to you is this notion of Martin Luther King said that he followed Gandhi. So Gandhi, having probably the most important American that there was for civil rights, being followed by Martin Luther King is a real big deal. Martin Luther King was a guy that set forth so many principles for civil rights, and was really the tip of the spear when it came to those. But Gandhi said, be the change you want to be. And every day I try to be a little bit, emulate Gandhi by being the change that I can be. I try to do that every single day. And here's my homework for you, okay? It's not whether Best Foods or Miracle Whip is better, but I think they're equally the same. It is, if you can, tomorrow when you're at work, or when you're at home, or when you're at school, or wherever you're at, is if you could find that person or that situation that you can make a positive change, please do it. It's my theory that those positive changes, of course, are an act of love. And I think love is like an easily caught virus, right? Be that virus that's easily caught. Love can multiply and multiply. And it's important for us to have that in these times right now. And it's important for our police officers out there to hear that, but also express that as well. And that's my mission every single day, is to make a positive change and show truly that it is an act of loving mankind. Thank you.